Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's my lecture is about membrane potential. All cells are surrounded by a membrane composed of a lipid bilayer with proteins embedded in it. The membrane serves as both an insulator and a diffusion barrier to the movement of ions. Transmembrane proteins, also known as ion transporter or ion pump protein, which actively push ion across the membrane, establish concentration gradient across the membrane, and ion channel allows ion to move across the membrane down those concentration gradient. Ion pump and channels are electrically equivalent to a set of batteries and resistors inserted in the membrane and therefore create a voltage between the two sides of membrane. Signals are generated by opening and closing of ion channel at one point in the membrane and producing local change in the membrane potential. This change in the electrical field can be quickly sensed by either adjacent or more distant ion channel in the membrane. Those ion channels can then open or close as a result of potential change, producing the signals. Almost all plasma membranes have an electrical potential across them, with the inside usually negative with respect to the outside. So, the definitions of membrane potential is the electrical potential difference across the membrane is called membrane potential, which is caused by ion concentration. It is also called transmembrane potential or transmembrane potential difference or transmembrane potential gradient or membrane voltage. The membrane potential has two basic functions. First, it allows a cell to function as a battery, providing power to operate a variety of molecular devices embedded in the membrane. Secondly, in electrically excitable cells such as neurons and muscle cells generate rapidly changing electrochemical impulse at their membrane. These impulses are used to transmit signals along the nerve or muscle membrane between the different parts of the cell. At a glance, the importance of membrane potential is conduction of nerve impulse, muscle contraction, and activity of other cells such as glandular cells, macrophage, ciliated cells. Basic physics of membrane potential. Let us assume that the membrane is permeable to potassium ion but not any other ions. Because of large potassium concentration gradient from inside towards the outside, there is a strong tendency for extra number of potassium ion to diffuse outwards through the membrane. Here, establishment of diffusion potential across a nerve fiber membrane caused by diffusion of potassium ion from inside the cell to the outside through a membrane that is selectively permeable only potassium ion. As they do so, they carry positive electrical charge to the outside and create electropositivity outside the membrane and electronegativity inside because of negative anions that remain behind and do not diffuse outwards with the potassium. Within milliseconds or so, the potential difference between the inside and outside, which is called diffusion potential, becomes great enough to block further net potassium diffusion to the exterior, despite the high potassium concentration gradient. In normal mammalian nerve fiber, the potential difference is about 95 millivolt with negativity inside the fiber membrane. Here, a high concentration of sodium ion outside the membrane and low concentration of sodium ion inside the membrane. These ions are also positively charged. This time, the membrane is highly permeable to sodium ion, but it is impermeable to other ions. Diffusion of positively charged sodium ions to inside creates membrane potential with negativity outside and positivity inside. Again, the membrane potential rises high enough within milliseconds to block further net diffusion of sodium ion to inside. However, this time in mammalian nerve fiber, potential is about 61 millivolt positive inside the fiber. Note that the internal membrane potential is negative when potassium ion diffuse and positive when sodium ion diffuse because of opposite concentration gradient of those ions. Thus, in both part of figure, we see that a concentration difference of ion across a selectively permeable membrane can, under appropriate conditions, create a membrane potential. So, we can discuss about Nernst potential. The diffusion potential level across a membrane that exactly opposes the net diffusion of particular ion through the membrane is called Nernst potential for that ion. It is also called reversal potential. The magnitude of Nernst potential is determined by the ratio of concentration of that specific ion on the two sides of membrane. The greater this ratio, greater the tendency for the ion to diffuse in one direction. Therefore, the greater the Nernst potential required to prevent additional net diffusion. This is the figure of Nernst equation. By Nernst equation, we describe the relation of diffusion potential to the ion concentration difference across the membrane. When using this formula, it is usually assumed that the potential in the extracellular fluid outside the membrane remains at zero potential and Nernst potential is the potential inside the membrane. Here, the sign of potential is positive if the ion diffusing from inside to outside and is negative ion, and it is negative if the ion is positive. Thus, when the concentration of positive sodium ions on the inside is 10 times that on the outside, the log of 10 is 1. So, the Nernst potential calculated to be minus 61 millivolts inside the membrane. This is the Goldman equation. We use this equation when we calculate the diffusion potential when membrane is permeable to several different ions. When membrane is permeable to several different ions, the diffusion potential that develop depends on three factors. First one, the polarity of electrical charge of each ion. Secondly, the permeability of membrane to each ion. And thirdly, the concentration of respective ion on inside and outside of the membrane. This Goldman equation has several key points. First of all, sodium, potassium and chloride ion are the most important ion involved in the development of membrane potential in nerve and muscle fiber, as well as in the neuronal cells in the nervous system. The concentration gradient of each of these ions across the membrane helps determine the voltage of membrane potential. Secondly, the quantitative importance of each ion in determining the voltage is proportional to the membrane permeability of that particular ion. That is, if the membrane has zero permeability to potassium and chloride ion, membrane potential becomes entirely dominated by the concentration gradient of sodium ion alone. Resulting potential will be equal to the Nernst potential for sodium ion. The same holds for each of the other two ions if the membrane should become selectively permeable for either one of them alone. Thirdly, a positive ion concentration gradient from inside membrane to outside causes electronegativity inside the membrane. The reason for this phenomenon is that excess positive ion diffuse to the outside when their concentration is higher inside than outside. This diffusion carries positive charge to the outside but leaves the non-diffusible negative ions on the inside, thus create electronegativity on the inside. The opposite effect occurs when there is a gradient for a negative ion. That is, a chloride ion gradient from outside to inside causes negativity inside the cell because excess negatively charged chloride ion diffuse to the inside while leaving the non-diffusible positive ions on the outside. Fourthly, the permeability of sodium and potassium channels undergo rapid change during transmission of a nerve impulse, whereas the permeability of chloride channel does not change greatly during this process. Therefore, rapid change in sodium and potassium permeability are primarily responsible for signal transmission in neurons. We know that many of the rapid change in membrane potential observed during nerve and muscle impulse transmission results from occurrence of such rapidly changes diffusion potential. How we measure the membrane potential? The method for measuring the membrane potential is simple in theory but often difficult in practice because of the small size of most of the fibers. In this figure, we show that a small pipette filled with an electrolyte solution. The pipette is impelled through the cell membrane to the interior of the fiber. Another electrode called indifferent electrode, which is then placed in the extracellular fluid, and potential difference between inside and outside of fiber is measured using an appropriate voltmeter. This voltmeter is highly sophisticated electronic apparatus that is capable of measuring small voltage despite extremely high resistance to electrical flow through the tip of the micropipette, which has a lumen diameter usually less than 1 micrometer and a resistance more than a million ohms. For recording rapid change in membrane potential during transmission of nerve impulse, the microelectrode is connected to the oscilloscope. As long as the electrode is outside the nerve membrane, the recorded potential is zero, which is the potential in the extracellular fluid. Then, as the recording electrode passes through the voltage change area at the cell membrane, the potential decreases abruptly to minus 90 millivolt. Moving across the center of the fiber, the potential remains at a steady minus 90 millivolt level, but reverts back to zero the instant it passes through the membrane on the opposite side of the fiber. In this figure, it shows the electrical potential that is measured at each point in or near the nerve fiber membrane, beginning at the left side of the figure, passing to the right. The lower panel displays the abrupt change in the membrane potential that occur at the membrane on two sides of the fiber. To create negative potential inside the membrane, only enough positive ion to develop the electrical dipole layer at the membrane itself must be transported outwards. Remaining ion inside the nerve fiber can be both positive and negative. Therefore, transfer of a incredibly small amount of ion through the membrane can establish the normal resting membrane potential is minus 90 millivolt inside the nerve fiber. And for the exterior of the cell, Typical value of membrane potential normally given in units of millivolt and denotes which is MV, ranging from -40 millivolt to 80 millivolt. At last, membrane potential is two types: resting membrane potential and action potential. These two types is described my another two videos. Okay, thank you for your patience hearing.